Hello, this is Paul, and this is a second video that I'm making for you. And just to tell you a little bit about myself, I've been teaching computers for the past 40 years. And presently, for the past 4 years now, I've been over here in Harrisburg with a program where I'm teaching people to become geeks in their neighborhood and be able to understand how to operate the computer themselves. These people are able to eventually go to college if they so desire, or find a better job. There's a lot of changes that has been made in their lives, and I'm pleased to be part of it to help them reach their goals. Well, one of the biggest questions that these people are asking is that I need to learn how to copy and paste. This is especially brought up when I get into teaching about a word processor. What is a word processor? A word processor is something that you can write a document with. It could be a letter, it could be notes, it can be anything you want it to be, to include even a resume, and people can even create cards or notes of encouragement to people. There's many different uses for a word processor. The advantage of a word processor is that things can be changed, modified, without having to type it all over again. It gets saved on your computer from time to time, and should you not save it, it'll be lost when you turn off your computer. So when you do these things, make sure you save your documents if you're working with a word processor. The biggest thing that they ask about is the art of copying and pasting text from one location to another. It is a very common question that comes up in these classes. And if you have any difficulty understanding this, you're not any different than others that comes to the class. We have a situation where this program has been developed to be presented on the web, but there are different compatibilities with our browsers. Now, what is a browser? There are different signals that comes off of the web, and you need a program to interpret these signals that you're able to see them on your computer. And that is the duty of a browser. A browser, again, will enable you to see what you're desiring to see from the web. It is not the web itself, it is a program that is on your computer and interprets the signals it receives. Now, where there is different browsers, there are different compatibilities as well. These compatibilities often will allow everything to work properly or put restrictions on many different things. So, understanding that one browser might work for one page and not work on another. This is typical with all browsers. Now, when we go to the Family House of goodgospel.org, we see a list of buttons going down, and they're pink in color, and the welcome page when you first come on is highlighted, and these are the standard buttons that are reflected throughout the entire website. However, on the bottom of it is submit a prayer and also opinion about us. Well, these are places where you will put in your prayer request and be able to make comments, whatever the case may be, to be able to encourage operator, and also that we can join together in one accord to be able to pray for your needs. In this, we do experience many results, and we are happy to see that God is there for us. Well, one thing is in this compatibility, let me notice, pay a little bit of attention here, first of all, concerning the button on the bottom here that says that is grayed out right now. This grayed out portion is something that the music is being blocked. It is not that it's missing, it is blocked by your browser. And if this is taking place with your computer, that you're not getting the music that is being presented, you might get somebody to help you release that block so that you're able to hear the music. This has to be done on each page as it comes down from the web. So it's not necessarily an easy task, but people that are much more experienced would be helpful. Now with this, we also have here the two buttons. They're different color. They are submitted on each page and given a special color, and it brings out emphasis where you can submit a prayer or make an opinion or have some kind of content to go on our page for guest book. To look at this, we're going to start with submitting a prayer, just to have something in unison here. And as you bring up this page, the prayer request is standard. It's pretty straightforward. However, if you're not too familiar with working with your computer outside of PalTalk, why then this could be a little bit confusing. Your name, you type in the white box there next to your name. Your name, it could be your screen name, your whatever it may be, and then under that is the email address. Now the prayer request goes in that section on the bottom. Now on this, I put in some text here that is a sample of what I'm talking about. This is a sample of what I might put in for a prayer request. It should follow with the procedure when submit a prayer is pressed on the button below. The reset button will cause everything on this page to be blanked out and be able to start over. In other words, if you get confused at what you're doing, there's always a way of starting over. And it's not sent until you press submit a prayer. However, what goes through is a couple steps here to see if you have an email listed on this list. However, if it is Yahoo or with Gmail, I can go straight into it. And also, if it's not on the list, there is a selection there to choose an application which might be on your computer. If you don't have an email address, it is necessary to get a free email address to use. In this day and age, most people do have email, and it's sad to say I even had somebody turn down for renting a TV from one of the rent-a-centers here, and it's because they didn't have an email. So it's a good idea to have one. When you do have one, be sure to check it from time to time. Otherwise, they'll cancel it out. Everybody has their own rules and regulations, but you should be diligent in checking your email from time to time. Now, if you don't want this page to come up every time you go to send email to operator, you can use the checkbox here. This checkbox down here has, remember my choice for email links, and this is called a checkbox. They're always in the form of a box, and if you click on it, it'll put a check mark in there. And if you do that, then it will skip over this page. Once more, if everything is working in a perfect world, no mistakes, this is what you should come up with. This is a intermittent step, because before you send it, you have a final time to be able to go over what's being sent and be able to change things that are necessary. So it's a final step that, to confirm that you're going to say what you want to say. Now, one problem we have is that very often when we have this page back on the web and we go and use a different browser, it might not carry over and it'll be blanked out. Take notice that there is nothing in the subject line. There is nothing in the main body. So what we want to do is to go back on the web and be able to copy this over without having to retype it. And this is how you do it. First of all, you will highlight everything that is on this page here by holding down the left button, which is your primary button, and highlight all the words. When you have everything highlighted, you will release the left button, and then you'll be able to hold down the control key. While holding down the control key, press the letter C. This should copy it into what is called a buffer. When this text or any text is copied into a buffer, it can be pasted in any location you want it to be. Now, very often this might not work for everybody, and to do this you can use the right button on your mouse and be able to bring up a menu. When you bring up that menu, a right button, or it's the secondary button, this will always bring up some kind of a menu that is pertaining to what you're using that for. And in this case, we have a couple items listed there called cut or copy. To choose either one of, now let me say that cut will cut something out. It's just like taking a pair of scissors and removing it. Copy will leave it there. And to follow up with either one of them is to paste it somewhere else. So what we do is we go back to our message that is already created, and we will hold down the control key while pressing the letter V as in victory. And this is what happens when you do that, is that if you're using the alternate method and you're going to right click on there, there is now another item on that list called paste. So control V, or using the menu and left clicking on paste, then paste will also put that text in the body. Then again, you can double check it and make sure that it is accurate before you actually send it. But take notice that there is also nothing in the subject line. If you want special attention, sometimes you might want to include a subject in the title there. It just might even say my prayer request or anything you want it to be. Now, also above it, the to also retains operator's email address with his name there, and it will get to him. When you have everything all ironed out the way you want it, be sure to press the send button. Nothing is sent to operator until you press that button. If you're working with Yahoo or Gmail or any selection of whatever service you're using, the send button might be in a different location, and to be able to send it to somebody, it's not going to go anywhere until you press that button. Well, this is basically how to cut and paste and be able to send things in your email that you intend without having to retype everything all over again. One thing in our discussion, operator said that especially when it's a little bit lengthy, it's hard to remember what I have already said, and it would be very convenient to be able to cut and paste this words of help or encouragement, whatever the case may be, over, and have a much easier situation. Well, there is not much we can do about the compatibility of different browsers on your computer, but we know how to compensate for them. So I hope that this was helpful for you. And this is Paul, and on behalf of Operator, I wish that all is well, and that God is meeting your every need. Every need that is in existence, God has created for our benefit, that we may be able to be a better example in His sight. And I thank you for your attention in this matter. God bless you all.